Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Anisha Sofa and my number matrix is 078078. Global Touch Solution is a mid-sized technology company that uses a legacy database system to manage employee, payroll and the project data. However, the current system faces several issues which these problems may affect the data security, consistency and also overall organizational performance. Therefore, redesigning the database system is really important to improve the security, operational efficiency and also the management decision making. Next, in response to these challenges, the primary objective of this project are: the first one, to strengthen database security by implementing secure access control mechanisms such as role-based access control (RBAC). Second, to enhance data sharing and consistency through XML-based data exchange mechanism for secure and standardized information sharing with external vendors and government reporting system. The third one, to support strategic decision making by developing a business intelligence system with data warehouse and OLAP features to analyze departmental performance, error trends, and project efficiency. Next is threats and its mitigation strategies. In this session, we had identified 3 major security threats faced by the Global Touch solution. The first threat is unauthorized access attempts, which happen when individuals try to access the database without valid authorization. This issue is mainly caused by weak password, poor authentication mechanism, and also lack of proper access control. For example, attackers may use brute force attack to guess the employee password and gain access to sensitive payroll information. To mitigate this issue, the company should implement multi-factor authentication, enforce strong password policies, and also apply role-based access control to limit the user access based on their responsibilities. Next, the second threat is the internal data leakage, which this may occur when the employees or insider intentionally or unintentionally share confidential company information with the unauthorized parties. This can happen due to excessive user privilege and lack of activity monitoring. As a result, the company may face reputational damage and financial losses. To prevent this threat, the organization should apply the principle of least privilege, monitor user activities through audit logs, and also implement data encryption to protect the sensitive information. Lastly, the third threat is SQL injection attacks, which this may occur when the attackers insert the malicious SQL commands into the input fields to gain unauthorized access to the database or manipulate the records. This threat usually happens because of poor input validation and also insecure coding practices. To prevent this issue, the company should validate user input, use prepared statements and parameterize queries, as well as implement a secure coding practices and data encryption. To summarize, these security measures are really important to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and overall security of the database system of Global Touch solution. So that's all from me, and now I will pass it to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Alia Fasihah Muhammad and my metric number is 078116 and I will be presenting the access control and user management section for our project. In this section, role-based access control or RBAC is implemented to restrict database access according to user responsibilities within Global Touch solutions. As shown in the diagram, RBAC helps control user permission by assigning a specific access right based on organizational rules. And 4 different roles are implemented in this system, which are admin, HR manager, employee, and also a project lead. And the admin user receives full database access, while the HR manager is responsible for managing employee and payroll information. And in addition, normal employees are only allowed to view employee where the project lead can manage project-related information. And this implementation helps improve database security by reducing unauthorized access and protecting sensitive company data. Next, MySQL Workbench was used to implement user account management and access privilege for this database system. As shown in the slide, the implementation process begins with creating user account for different organizational roles, such as admin, HR manager, employee, and also a project lead. After that, the grant assignment is used to assign specific privilege according to user responsibility within the organization. For example, the admin user receives full database access, while other users only receive limited permission based on their role. In addition, the revoke statement is also implemented to remove unnecessary privilege from user in order to strengthen database security control. And the successful execution of this SQL statement in MySQL Workbench demonstrates the implementation of role-based access control and privilege management in the database system. And that is all for my part. Now I pass to the next presenter, who will continue with XML design and implementation section. Thank you.
XML schema or XSD is to define the structure or rules for the XML file. So in XML schema, we have XSD sequence and element. So the sequence will determine the elements ordering, and then the XSD element This will give the rule for the tag name and the data type. So for example, we have first element tag name set to be employee ID, and then its data type is integer. So to use the SSD, we will do XML exporting simulation by using the Python script on the right. Firstly, we connect to the database using our credential. In my case, I'm using root credentials. And then we do the data retrieval by querying the database. And then we build the data structure using the LSML library. So the XML text created is based on our hard codes. And then after we have finished, we will stop the connection and the file writer. So to test our XML export, we will use the validator script. So this validator script will give two output. It's either true or false. So we will get true if all requirements such as text, order, and data type is fulfilled according to the XML schema. Or we will get false if one of the missing text or wrong order or wrong data type is inside the XML file. So this will be invalidated against the XML schema.
I will do the XML import. Here I use the employee project.xml file to clearly prove the import process. First, we will be adding one new employee and one new project. Before running the import, I check the database using these select queries to make sure the result is empty first, which means the ID should be 12 and the project ID must be 212. So to make sure that these both do not exist yet in the database. Next, I will add new employee into the employee project.xml file. And then I will add new project into the employee project.xml file. Next, I'm going to run this PHP import script on the Chrome using this link. So these PHP scripts are going to read the XML file and it's going to match the employee data into the employee tables and match the project data into the project table. The output shows that the employee and project records were imported or updated successfully. After running the script, I run the same select queries again. Now, employee ID 12 and project ID 212 appear in the database. This proves that the XML data was successfully imported back into the database. To ensure data integrity, we need to run duplicate checking queries for employee ID and project ID using these queries. The results return empty result sets, which is mean there are no duplicate records. We also need to check the project employee relationship using this query. And the result is empty, meaning every project is linked to a valid employee. In conclusion, the XML import process successfully imports data from the XML file back into the database using PHP. The system also prevents duplicate record using primary keys and on duplicate key update. Lastly, the relationship checking makes sure that every project is linked to a valid employee. This shows that the imported data is correct, consistent, and free from duplicates.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Yasmin Halimah binti Rekman. My metric number is 077088. In this video, I will talk about the star schema, ETL process, and BI visualization. Business intelligence or BI is used to transform raw organizational data into meaningful information that supports better management decision making. In this project, BI helps management analyze employee records, payroll expenses, department performance, and project involvement more efficiently. To support BI analysis, a star schema data warehouse model was designed. The schema consists of one central fact table called fact payroll and several dimension tables that include team employee, team department, and team project. The fact table stores a measurable payroll information such as salary, bonus, and total payment, while the dimension tables store descriptive information for multi-dimensional analysis. Next, the ETL process was implemented using Python and MySQL. ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. In the extract phase, employee payroll and project data were retrieved from the operational MySQL database. In the transform phase, the data was cleaned, merged, and processed using Python pandas. A new attribute called the total payment in fact payroll was generated by combining salary and bonus values. The dimension tables and fact tables were also generated during this phase. In the load phase, the transform data was loaded into the analytical database and exported into CSV format for Power BI visualization.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Anisa Sabila binti Muhammad Afizan. My metric number is 078020. Next, I will explain the OLAP analysis used in our business intelligence system. OLAP stands for Online Analytical Processing, which help management analyze organizational data more effectively. In this project, we implement 4 OLAP operations. First is roll up, which summarize payroll data by department. Second is drill down, which show details employee salary information. Third is slice, which focus only on IT department project. Lastly, dice filter employee involved in specific project. The main benefit of OLAP is that it helps management making better decision, monitor payroll and project performance, and improve overall business analysis more effectively. Thank you.
Finally, Power BI dashboards were created to visualize the transformed dataset. Several dashboards were developed, including department payroll analysis, employee salary and bonus analysis, project distribution analysis, and employee participation analysis. The dashboards allow management to analyze payroll allocation, employee compensation, department workload, and project involvement interactively using charts, tables, and KPI indicators. In conclusion, the business intelligence implementation successfully transformed operational database records into meaningful analytical insights that improve organizational reporting and decision making. That's all from me. Thank you.
Lastly, to summarize, this project has successfully improved the database system of Global Touch Solution. The approaches include security mechanisms such as MFA, RBAC, audit logs, and secure coding practices has helped protect the sensitive organizational data from unauthorized access. Moreover, SML implementation enables secure and standardized data sharing, while BI and OLAP analysis provide meaningful insight to support better management decision making. Overall, all these approaches successfully contribute to building a more secure, efficient, and modern database system for Global Touch Solution. So that's all from me. Thank you.